Okay, we're making the cutest thing today. We're making this little Easter basket that's a shaker. Can you see it shake? It's a little shaker Easter basket. I love it. I had so much fun making it. That's why my fingernails look crappy. I was gonna take off my polish so you get to see all my chippies. To make this little basket, we need a lot of ovals. So I'm using the layering oval dies. And I'm also using a couple dies from the Cuckoo for You that's in the annual catalog. We're going to use this little bunny and we're going to use this little bird. So cute. Hi, Betty. And then I'll show you the stamp sets as we go. We're going to use, of course, the bird and the bunny from the Cuckoo for You stamp set bundle. This makes a really fun interaction card. Is that how you say it? Interaction. Okay, I did a lot of the work ahead of time because I didn't want you to sit here and have to watch me cut 500 ovals out. So I made this little sheet. So what you're going to need to make this little Easter basket, I just love that shaker. I don't make enough of them. You're going to cut 2 ovals using the largest oval die from the Layering Ovals. Hi, Letha. And I used the bright 6x6 designer series paper. This one's Melon Mambo, and then I'm making a blue one that's using Pacific Point. So you're going to cut 2 ovals out of the large 3 9/16 inch oval die. It's the largest die in the set. Then you're going to create this little frame. Stick that right there. And you need 2 dies to do that. You're going to basically nest these 2 together. Let me show you on this Melon Mambo. That one and that one. And when you cut those out, when you nest them together, it'll make the little frame. And that is the 2 11/16 scallop die and the 2 1/4 oval die. And they measure them from length to length. And I will post all of this too on my blog. I'll do a blog post on this afternoon. So all of this information will be there. And then you're going to cut a window sheet. Are you overwhelmed yet? Just a clear window sheet and a piece of Whisper White with the 2.5 inch oval die. So that's all the ovals you're going to cut using the Layering Ovals dies. And to make our box, let me set this aside. This is kind of it's really not a hard project. It just has several steps. I'm going to show you how to make a box. You're going to take, like I said, this is Pacific Point. I made this one out of Melon Mambo. And this is a 6 inch by 3.5 inch piece of Pacific Point paper. And then you're going to take your trimmer or your scoring tool, if you have a scoring, whatever they're called. And on the 3.5 inch side, you're going to score at 1 inch. I'm just using my trimmer and my scoring blade. 1 inch, and then scooch it over and score at, make sure I get this right, 2.5, I think. Yes, 2.5. And use your scoring blade, not your cutting blade. And then on the 6 inch side, you're going to score it at 2.5 and 3.5. And that is going to be our box. Okay, now we're just going to trim the box. These are going to be our tabs. The score lines, follow along the score lines on this 6-inch side. This is going to be the bottom of our box right here. So we're just going to trim on these score lines that we just made and meet that other horizontal score line. I hope you can see all that. Then I'm going to take, I should have done this before, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to take my bone folder and just burnish these really good. So they're nice and crisp. And then I like to just trim my little tabs to square up my box a little better. So I just trim them like that. And I'm just using liquid adhesive today because I just like to use liquid adhesive when I'm making boxes and things. It gives me a little wiggle room while the adhesive's drying. So I'm just going to put a little liquid adhesive on these little tabs. And then fold one side in. Make sure it's squared up right here. Am I too close to the camera, y'all? Holler at me if I am. And then we're going to go on the other side and do the same thing. I'm just squaring that up, and that's one side of our box. Now all we have to do is put some adhesive on the sides, on both sides, and bring this up. And this side. That's how you make a little box. It's just a little rectangular box, kind of tall. It's not going to fit very many treats, but a couple of treats, some jelly beans, whatever. Okay, now for the, we're going to take these two large ovals that we cut. And I just eyeballed it. I just kind of set it on here. And once I get to the point on the oval that I can't see the box, because see, if I did it here, I could see the box. And this kind of gives it the egg look too. But I just slide it down until the egg is covering up the box. And I just bend that over. So I've got that bent over, and I can take my foam folder and burnish that. So I've got this little fold, and what I can do now is just take this other egg and follow that same score line. Stack them on top of each other and fold it over. There you go. Now we're going to put the tiniest little bit. This is going to be the front and back of our basket. So we're going to put some adhesive right there. Maybe I should do this all at once. And I'm going to put some adhesive on the front of the box. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the second egg. This is going to go on the back of the box. Looks like Facebook has revamped. Does you guys' Facebook look different today? Looks like a new thingy. Okay, I'm gluing this one on just like I did the front one. I don't know if anyone's commenting because I'm not seeing things. So if you have any questions, type them in there, and then you can use your little bone folder to get that all. So that's the little egg. Now to make the handle, I took a 1/2 inch by 6 inch piece of the matching cardstock, and then a 1/4 inch by a 6 inch piece of the designer series paper. And I'm gonna just adhere this onto here. Right in the middle. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit. Okay, and now I'm gonna take my bone folder and kind of curl it. Just break down the fibers a little bit, like that. And I'm gonna use a hole punch. This is a retired Stampin' Up! Hole punch. I think it's 1/16. It's just basically to get the get everything started for. I'm going to put a brad in here. If you're not going to put much in your basket, you might not need a brad. You might just want to adhere it, but I don't know what I'm going to put in mine, so I'm just going down about 1/4 of an inch right in the middle of both sides. This is just to help me get the brad inserted in there. If you didn't have a hole punch, you could use your paper piercer. Just pierce a hole to start it. I'm going to do the same thing on the little handle. And then I'm using, oh, did I put them back? Why would I do that? Nope, here they are. I'm using the metallic brads that we have in our catalog. They've got some that look like buttons. That would be kind of cute, really. Kind of Peter Rabbit-ish. I think I'll use the ones with the buttons this time. I'm going to stick that right through that little hole that I punched. This is where if you have small fingers, it's helpful. I do not. And that's your little basket. Now that would be cute just all by itself. Just put a little treat in. You know what else I thought these baskets would be good for? Mother's Day and May Day to leave on your neighbor's porch. Remember when we used to do that? When I was a kid, my mom would have us go leave May baskets. Okay, now we're going to create this window that's our shaker window. And we're going to take the frame that we cut, the Whisper White oval, and the window sheet, and I will post this either in this in the comments below after we're done, or it will be on the blog post at theplaidpoodle.com. You can look it up there for measurements. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to adhere the window sheet to the frame. So I just use some adhesive, some liquid adhesive. You don't want a whole lot because you don't want it to squish out from under your window sheet. And then another thing I do, because it's going to be a shaker card, this window sheet has a lot of static, and it's going to have static anyway, but to help it a little bit, I use my embossing buddy and just kind of run it over the window sheet. I'm going to stick this right on our frame. Isn't that cute? Now, the next thing I'm going to use are these foam adhesive strips. And since my window is, or my frame is so narrow, what I did on my little shaker is I took one of these and I cut it, just kind of cut it in half. Because I didn't need, it's probably about 1/4 of an inch thick, maybe a little less than 1/4 of an inch, but I didn't need that much. So I just cut one in half. Oops. To make it narrower. And then you take one side of the adhesive off. These are like Stampin' Dimensionals, but they're long strips, and they're just great for I am not putting the sticky side down, am I? What is up? Here we go. Oh guys, okay, there we go. Anyway, they're like Stampin' Dimensionals. They're adhesive on both sides, and you want to try and get this as close to the edge of your oval as you can, because you don't want it to show right here. That's why I trimmed it down a little bit. These are really great because you can just kind of manipulate them any which way. I need a little bit more, so I'll cut this one off. This is just going to keep our, make sure I get the sticky side down, our sequins and stuff to stay inside. This one's a little, this is just kind of a scrap down here, so I'm going to cut this one off. Okay, now we can peel off the other edge. So can you see I just put, hey, my sister's watching. Hello, Stacy. I just put half of one of the adhesive strips. I cut it in half so it wouldn't show through our window. Now we're going to add the sequins. This is the fun part. And I usually take the embossing buddy and kind of get the inside to get the static off, and it also kind of takes the sticky off the inside of that adhesive strip. Is that what they're called? Foam adhesive strip. It's a foam adhesive strip. Okay, that's just to help the sequins not to stick to the adhesive and the static, and you'll watch them jump once I add the window. So we're just going to add a few. Decide how many you want. Oops, that might be too much. I don't know, maybe not. Oh, isn't that the way? Using my little scoop here. Okay. There we go. So you can add, you know, whatever you want, sequins, glitter. And then I'm going to lay my frame down on there. And that's your little shaker window. And all we have to do now is glue it to the basket. And you can use your bone folder too to help kind of get it all on there. Okay, it's coming together. All right, now I gotta clean up all these sequins. They'll drive me nuts. Now we're gonna do the bunny and the little tag. And for the bunny, I am using the stamp set, like I said, from the Cuckoo for You. If you like interactive cards, this is a real cute card. You can, there's a little pull tab and it opens the cuckoo clock and you can put these little tiny things in there. It's kind of fun. So now I've got a piece of Whisper white paper that we're going to stamp on. It's just, let's see, 2.5 by 5, and we're going to stamp the bunny, and I'm using Memento ink. We're going to stamp the greeting and the bunny and the little bird. And the greeting I took from, I just wanted a small greeting, so I took it from the Itty Bitty Greeting set. It's a 2-set stamp set, the cling red rubber cling stamps, and it's got all the different occasions or holidays that you would need. So I took the Easter one from there, and we're gonna stamp our little bunny, and I'm using Memento ink because I'm going to color with the Stampin' Blends, which are alcohol markers, and the Memento ink won't run or blur with the alcohol markers. So that's why I'm using Memento ink, and I like it. It's probably my favorite black ink. Okay, and there's the little birdie, which is so cute. And I'm spacing them apart because I am going to die cut them out. And I press that a little hard. I'm gonna, hopefully I didn't stamp that too close. Okay, we're gonna color these, and I'm just pulling out some colors. I love these markers. You need more greetings, Letha? That Itty Bitty Greetings is good if you like tiny ones. I do too. I tend to buy the images, and then I don't have any greetings because I fall in love with the images. I'm using, this is light pumpkin pie Stampin' Blend marker to color his little carrot. And then I'm going to color his, carrot tops with, this is like a normal water base marker, but other people like to use the precision tip end. I just do better with this one because instead of coloring in, I just kind of dot in until it's all filled in. Does that make sense? Okay, and then for the bunny, I am going to use some, this is Flirty Flamingo, light Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to give him or her some little pink ears up here and some little pink cheeks. And I'm going to take some light granite gray. Also, I want to do her little nose with pink. Okay, I think that's all the pink. This is light granite gray, and I'm just gonna color her in. I guess I've decided she's a she. Kind of looks like a he. She doesn't have any bows or earrings or anything. And then for the face, remember when I took my Copic class, my alcohol marker class certification, you want to leave around the face kind of open. So it looked weird when I didn't color it in with the granite gray on my sample. So this is what I did. I came back. I think we're done with the gray. And I took the color lifter. This is great if you have the alcohol markers. It's like an eraser. And I just kind of went over the face here with the color lifter, and it took some of the gray away from his face or her face. It still has color, but it's not as dark as the rest. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. For the little birdie, I use Balmy Blue ink, light and dark. I just colored her in with the light. She's going to be a little robin or a bluebird. Do bluebirds have red tummies? I don't know. I just wanted her to have a red breast. I think bluebirds do have a red, don't they? And she's got, for some reason, she's got this little ring around her neck. So I'm going to use the dark Balmy Blue to fill that in. And then for her little tummy, I'm using the light Real Red. And for these, you guys can use whatever colors you like. And then for her beak, I'm using the dark Pumpkin Pie. And my brush tip on my pumpkin pie has been through the war, so I am gonna use the precision tip. There, it hardly shows. Okay, now we're gonna take the dies from the Cuckoo. I think they're just called Cuckoo Clock. And there's one for the rabbit, and there's one for the bird. Have to stand up to figure this out. And then I did a little label, and I got the label punch from my new favorite Stitch So Sweetly dies. There's just a bunch of tags and labels, and I think I'm going to tape these down since I'm doing all three at once. I'm going to use some of my purple tape, especially since I colored. I don't want them to shift. Ruin all my work. I think my husband and I are going to sneak some Easter goodies over to our grandkids, either very early Sunday morning or I don't know. We're going to sneak something over there because I just cannot do it. Okay, I cut those out with my Big Shot. So I've got my little tag, my little bunny, and my tiny little bird. Okay, and you know what I forgot to do? I was going to take the dark pumpkin pie and just kind of add a little shading to this carrot right here where these little lines are. So I'm just taking the dark and I just kind of traced over the lines, and now I'm going to take the light and just blend it in. Give it a little bit of dimension. There we go. That was bugging me. Okay, we're going to still use our liquid adhesive. And we're gonna, this is where if any of your little adhesive strip is showing, you can kind of place your bunny to kind of cover it up. There's a little tip for you, but I did pretty good. I've got some up here and I think our tag will cover that up. It could be just because I'm looking at it from underneath. So determine where you want your little bunny and then just add a little adhesive. And then the same thing with your little tag. You guys, I'm so in love with these. I just think they're so cute. I wish they were a little bigger. They'd be the perfect size for a gift card, but this is the biggest oval I have. It's the biggest oval in the set, so I couldn't make the box any wider. Okay, now I'm going to put the little bird on the tag. I think I need it to be down by his little feet, or hers. Little tiny little thing. There we go. And you can put, I put some, whatever you call this. And it would hold some treats. It would hold the little, what do you call those? Anyway, you know me and my words, but it would hold some treats. It'd be cute. Cute little something something. If we were having an Easter dinner, wouldn't it be fun to put it at each person's place setting? But we're not hosting Easter dinner these days, but you could sneak it onto your neighbor's porch. And like I said, I'm going to sneak some things over to my grandkids. Might hide some eggs in their yard very early Sunday morning. I got to talk to my husband about it. So otherwise, you guys have a great afternoon, and I'll be back Wednesday for coffee and a card. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.